Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cheyenne and it has been like a year since I've filmed anything. I've had a lot just go on this past year and I haven't really felt like mentally, emotionally, like physically ready to continue filming. So for today we're just gonna do a quick get ready with me, kind of talk about what's happened in the last year, and yes. So obviously the first big physical change you're gonna notice is I chopped all of my hair off. I was honestly just really tired of the upkeep of long hair. It just is a lot of work and it's not anything I really want to deal with. I personally much prefer to have short hair. I feel like short hair just looks better on me. I feel like I can maintain my hair better. I feel like my hair looks fuller when it's short. When it's long, I feel like it starts getting like kind of stringy at the bottom, and I felt like just doing like a really good chop would help my hair grow back nice and healthy. So where have I been for the last year? I'm still working at the same salon, still very happy there. I'm generally there about 40 hours a week, sometimes more, sometimes less. It just kind of depends on what's going on with my work week. And in the last year, I ended up actually getting promoted to education coordinator with the salon. So I am now in charge of like setting up all of the classes, talking to the L'Oreal reps, and you know, planning classes catered around whatever the salon and stylists need, whether that's, you know, product knowledge or like a balayage class, cutting class, anything that any of the stylists need. That's pretty much what I do now. It's just been a really busy year at work. And then I had a couple of like hiccups happen in like my personal life. I would say that would be like the best way to explain it. In July, I ended up actually getting into a car accident. I was going through a four-way stop and I had stopped. I had looked both ways and then proceeded through the intersection, and as I was going straight, the person who was turning left, she was on my left-hand side, she was turning left to go into the same direction I was going. She ended up colliding into me and hitting my driver's side tire, and I ended up being without a car for like a month, and then I ended up seeing a chiropractor for like a month too because I had tweaked my back and my shoulder. And in the beginning of October, we ended up actually getting COVID, the entire family. Me and my husband weren't showing any symptoms, but the 2-year-old ended up showing symptoms, so we got him tested. He tested positive. So the night that he ended up testing positive, we ended up taking him to the ER because he had a really high fever. And after that, we came home and he started feeling better, and then a week later we ended up taking him back to the hospital because he had a fever again. And the second time we took him to the ER, the doctor diagnosed him with an ear infection, and then a week later my oldest started showing signs for COVID. And then a week after that, he ended up getting an ear infection in both ears. And once he was better with that, we somehow all contracted RSV. And we finally all got over that and we're all doing better. But I feel like since having COVID, like, I feel like my voice is still a little funky. Like, I don't feel 100% myself, and I can't wait to go back to feeling normal if that ever happens. But yeah, we had like 2 months towards the end of the year that we were just sick the entire 2 months, which sucks because it was like during both my kids' like birthday months, so they ended up spending their birthdays like super sick, miserable, and bad. We had to cancel my oldest's party. My youngest got sick like 2 days after his birthday party, so at least he got to have a little bit of fun. But yeah, we've been all pretty sick and miserable the last couple months. It sucks that we've all been so sick because me and my husband, we hardly ever go out. We hardly ever take like the kids out or anything like that. We're pretty much homebodies, and we've always been homebodies. Like, we really like to just stay home, maybe watch a movie, relax. Like, we don't need to go out to feel satisfied. We'll go out maybe like once a week for like a family like date night, but we're not like overly like sociable people. I honestly get extreme like social anxiety, especially like going into like new environments where I don't know anybody. It's something that I really struggle with. Oh, and the other big thing that's kind of happened this year is I got an official diagnosis for ADHD, which explains so much of my life. I feel so crazy for saying this, but like, I was on TikTok one night, and like, you know how your For You page ends up like giving you like a bunch of like random crap like out of nowhere? There's this one video that popped up on my For You page, and it was like the 5 signs of ADHD. So I watched it just, you know, out of curiosity, and I was like mindlessly scrolling through TikTok anyways, and sure enough, like literally all 5 of the like red flags were things that I have always really struggled with. So I immediately was like, oh, you know, I'm gonna do a little bit more research into it, and I did the whole like WebMD, like, you know, the internet search that everybody tells you not to do. I did. But it ended up leading me to finding a therapist and finding a psychiatrist and getting like the official diagnosis. And I feel like since I've gotten that official diagnosis, I've been able to kind of understand myself a little bit more. I've always really struggled with like, you know, starting projects, never finishing them, getting really fixated with like certain things, food jarring, where you just like eat the same thing consistently. Like, I am completely okay with eating like the same, like, you know, breakfast every morning for like a week straight, whereas my husband likes to have like a little bit more variety. I feel like I've also been able to kind of like figure out how to be a little bit more structured living with ADHD, which is something that I never really had before, obviously, because I didn't have the diagnosis. But not only that, like, you know, and I just messed up my makeup. But like in the 90s, you know, when I was growing up and I was a kid, ADHD and ADHD were like, it was like, you know, a kid is being a kid. Like, they can't focus because they're a kid. Parents didn't really realize like, oh, their brain doesn't work the same way as like a neurotypical like brain does. So I like really struggled in school. I really struggled finding like a passion, because I was passionate about like so many different things. I was always the really socially awkward kid who couldn't stick to one topic, so like I would circle through like a whole thing of topics and end up right back to where I would start, which I mean honestly isn't like the worst thing ever. It definitely makes for like an interesting conversation. But I will say I don't regret finding a therapist and like doing the weekly sessions and everything like that and putting in the work. I feel like I definitely like better understand myself now because of therapy and finally getting that actual like diagnosis. I just wish I had done it sooner, honestly. I would say the other big thing that's really like going on in our life is just, you know, we're going to try to start focusing on like traveling more. Next year we're gonna take a trip to Hawaii. I don't know what island to go to, so if you've been to Hawaii and you had like an amazing experience, which everybody has an amazing experience, but if you had an extra amazing experience in Hawaii and have like a suggestion on like what to do, where to go, like definitely leave it in the comments because I need all of the suggestions. Work has been super crazy and I'm just very much ready for a vacation. We actually had planned a vacation for this year, like a little staycation. And well, we ended up staying, all right, because it was planned for October 26th through the 23rd, and that's when we had all of us were sick during our planned vacation. So I will say it feels so good to be behind the camera again, and well, I mean in front of the camera again and filming. I've missed this so much. I just feel like I had a really hard time like balancing between the two. It's like finding that like work-life, family balance. Other than Hawaii, the only other thing that I think we're doing is Disneyland for New Year's Day. New Year's Day is my mother-in-law's birthday and she wants to go to Disneyland, so we're gonna take the kiddos, go up, and hopefully it won't be super busy, super packed. The least amount of people possible would be amazing. But besides going to Disneyland and saving for Hawaii and going to Hawaii in October, the only thing other than that, we're just gonna, you know, keep it local, make memories with our family, our kiddos. This is the year where we're gonna start saving for a down payment on a house. That is like our big goal right now, is just saving for a down payment on a house so we can afford something hopefully decent. California is, the housing market here right now is just, it's trash. A like 3-bedroom condo is like $780,000 right now, so I really don't understand how anybody is expected to buy in this market. I guess like I have a couple of other goals other than, you know, saving for a house. I would say my other like big goals would be to lose some weight, feel like good about myself, feel a little bit more confident in my body, and get to like a healthier, more athletic build, and then continue like focusing on my career as well. I'm hopefully in the next year gonna be applying to be an educator for L'Oreal, so we'll see how that goes. I'm applying for this like really crazy mentorship. They only choose like 8 applicants a year, so I'm really hoping that I get it. I actually did just remember something else. It's been like a little bit chaotic. So for this year is my husband ended up getting promoted, but he now works the second shift at his job. So he now is working from 3 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. and I work generally like a 9 to 5 or like a 10 to 6. Our schedules have been like extremely opposite of each other, so that has also been a huge adjustment for us. So yeah, it's been an interesting year, and so I'm just actually, you know, excited to be getting back into this, you know, doing YouTube and filming for you guys and everything. It's a really great creative outlet for me. It helps me kind of like take my mind off of the things that I can't really change in my life right now, but it's nice to like connect with you guys online and, you know, hear from you guys in like the comment section and like see how everyone's doing. And so while I'm videoing and editing and all of that stuff, be sure to check up all of the suggested videos that are going to be popping up, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.